Okay. Yep, it's up. What? Woo woo! I closed Twitch so that it wouldn't get, yeah, me. I closed Twitch so that it wouldn't get, yeah.
What? Am I live with your what?
So check it. Yeah.
What? Am I live with your what?
So
Check it.
Get,
There's 4 people. There's 4 people. There's 4 people. There's 4 people. Oh, good.
we're getting there, buddy. It's my first time. I'm trying. I really am. Oh, buddy. I mean, the overlay looks nice, right? Alright, and we are live. And thank you everybody for showing up for the debut stream here of Children of Solaria for our solo adventure for Amalia here called Forged Purpose. And also thank you to everyone for bumbling through with me here as I try to figure out overlays and camera captures and sound, and everything looks slightly off, but we're doing our best. We're doing our best to make this work and to have some fun today. And yeah, so I will actually pass it over to Drew, aka well, you know what? Why don't you introduce yourself? Because you're the star of today's show. I'm just the guy helping facilitate the shenanigans that you'll have to go through. So I'll shut up now.
Okay. Hi, I'm Drew. I'm playing Amalia Thundervoice, a paladin of Torag, the Dwarven god of creation. God, I can't believe I forgot his name for a second there.
Great start.
I know, right? Like fucking professional streamers here. Oh, wait, that was the one. She is a very earnest and blunt person, but she's got a real good heart there, I think. Most of the time when she's not trying to kill people.
Why don't you fill us in a little bit on where you are currently and what you've been going up to, and then I will jump into a little bit of prologue here for you. We can get things started.
So, we're in the city of Ipak, right?
Ipak,
yeah.
I don't know, it's fine.
We are a group of siblings and cousins. I don't think any of us currently are of actually the same race, but we were brought up in the kind of royal household of our previous characters from our last campaign of the Kingdom of Solaria. Kind of grew up together as siblings and cousins, and then when the kingdom fell to a nefarious being of
You can call him what he is.
questionable.
The dickless
Yeah,
prick.
a dickless prick. Uh, uh, our our characters now were thrown back in time to try and see what we could do about overthrowing the man and his taking over of our kingdom. And we have been doing that with various degrees of success through the last few months. We were initially thrown back 30 years in time.
Mm-hmm.
We took care of some stuff there, and then we flashed forward 10 years, so now 20 years back in the past, where we've met up with some of our other siblings and cousins and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And we are now attempting to fight the cat that has crawled onto my desk.
The most treacherous villain of all, the kitty cat that doth
The
make its
most,
way over your desk.
yeah, so,
I
sorry,
am,
Sabrina.
yes, all hail God King Cockfrey. Wow, Lights. You know what? This is not, you know what? I gotta mark this not safe for work. This is an adult stream, apparently. So thank
Yeah.
you. Lights fantastic. You're the man. We appreciate you. But we're actually going to open our scene with you are currently in Tennille's Flat in the southern part of the city. And what I'll do is I'll actually move you over to the IPEC city proper map so that you can get an idea of where you're at. And along with the rest of the siblings, you have taken your first full night's rest. You've had a chance to finally, after everything that's been going on, the battle with the gnolls, the plague that assaulted the city, this heart of Lamashtu that you defeated quite brilliantly. You were able to destroy everything very, very, very quickly and without any losses, other than the gnoll mother and her offspring. But luckily, you did put their souls to rest. So you've got a little bit of time to just rest and recoup before, as has been discussed, in the morning you'll be traveling out to attempt to rescue Dawn, Tennille's wife, the brother of KJ, or excuse me, the sister of KJ, and hopefully bring her back from this Temple of Doom, or excuse me, I'm sorry, the Doom Pyramid. It's legally distinct. All right, we're gonna go with legally distinct. It is what it is. But as you laid down, you said your evening prayers, and just as your eyelids began to fall over and kind of close so that you could take a breath and actually relax for the evening, a ringing in your ears began, very similar to like the tinnitus kind of noise. And as it went on, a voice began to Amalia, can you hear me? It's KJ. It's KJ. You've got to come to Palace Hill. There's some dwarf here. He's crazy. He's put 6 of my guards on their ass, and he keeps asking for Thunder Voice. Well, you're the only Thunder Voice I know. Get here as soon as you can, and don't tell the others. He said specifically to come alone. And the message ends.
Shite. Amalia gets out of bed, puts on her biggest, stompiest boots, just kind of throws her hair back, puts her anvil brooch on her shirt, and grabs her shield and her hammer and stomps out towards the hill.
So as you make your way down the stairs, there is that atypical as every floorboard gives some sound, and you hear a little bit of stirring as you make your way down the stairs of
I'm not trying to be
Flat.
quiet either. I'm doing my stompiest.
That's glorious.
Dwarf.
But as you make your way to the main area, so there's like a kitchen that is attached to this dining area. There's a large table that you and the other siblings have had meals together, etc. But as you make your way in, you see there is a single candle on a little candelabra, as it were, and sitting in front of it is your ever present Rascal the raccoon. And as you get to the base of the stairs, he looks over to you and just slowly lifts a grape. I didn't see nothing. If you didn't see nothing.
I'd never tell on you, friend.
That's why I like you, Amalia. You've always been my favorite. And then he scurries up the stairs away from you and back to wherever he hides and eats grapes. But as you enter into and exit out of the building and enter into the streets, you see that the city of Ipec, it is late at night, likely past midnight, based on the position of the sun, the moon in the sky, and the stars where they're at. You take a quick moment to maybe take in that night air. It's cool, almost too cool. Now, it is late Lamashon, so it is getting into that fall, early winter, but it feels like that first real chill of winter, that fall kind of chilliness has come, but this is cold. It's actually cold. So your armor almost has little bits of frost on it as you make your way down the streets.
And the armor's not on.
Oh, you're not on. You're not wearing armor. Okay, perfect.
No,
so just your heaviest stompy boots. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, the armor's in the brooch.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say that on Mother's Pride, your hammer on the back, you notice a little bit of frost, just kind of, as the warmth air of the inside of the building and you walk out. But with that being said, you make your way down the street, you pass the Sun Market, make your way up through the Shade Market, and then as you get closer and closer to Palace Hill, you begin to hear this rumbling kind of shouting voice as you get closer and closer to Palace Hill. I told you! I need to speak to Thundervoice, and I won't take anyone else! If you and your pasty white children that you call guards want to get in me way one more time, I will put them on their bloody asses! You would-be scockamany Drugar-loving son of a... And it just goes on and on and on, and you hear KJ shouting down. It sounds like he might be a bit higher up. Shouting down at someone. He says, I don't know who you are, but you need to calm down. I've called for Thundervoice, but she's a she, not a he, and you need to breathe, and please stop punching my guards. Oh, gods! Oh, he hurts! I told you! Stay out of me, bloody way! I'm a gunsmith, and I will destroy all of you if you get in the way of my mission! And it just goes back and forth and back and forth. Did he say
Godsmith?
He did mention the name Godsmith. He did mention the name
God.
Godsmith.
Amalia moves faster.
Okay, so as you move faster and faster, this commotion continues back and forth, There's arguing, there's shouting back and forth, as it were. And as you finally come to the entrance, I'm actually going to drag you over to a map just to give you a little bit of a visual representation of what you're seeing here before you. And you see that KJ is up. Now, this is the entrance to Palace Hill, which is the large literal palace where the governess lives, a couple of nobles. You've got the main barracks for the guards, KJ's residence. He actually lives at one of the garrisons. But this is where all of that takes place, and the doors, the gates, these large wooden and metal-looking doors are shut, and this dwarf, he's got a black hood up over him. You can just barely make out this kind of, like, faded-looking beard, and you can't see his face, but he's got a guard by the scruff of his neck. The guard has a huge, it's already starting to swell, black eye, and this dwarven man is shaking his fist up at the man KJ before you. As you get closer to him, you see KJ looks over and notices you, and there's a look of worry, and then it is replaced by a look of likely what you would consider relief. He is happy to see that you have hopefully arrived here, and for some reason the dwarf token that I made for this guy is deciding just not to appear. So we're just gonna take a quick pause, and I'm gonna go and save this.
Of the mind, Charlie. It's fine.
And it's fine, But I did have a token for him, and I wanna actually drag him on so you can see this guy. He's got like a reddish kind of faded-looking gray beard, and we're gonna go ahead and drag him here. There he is. All right, so he's got this one guard, and imagine, if you will, that there are several other guards around him. They're on the floor, and none of them have been slain, their necks aren't broken, but they're in various stages of, like, maybe they were just in a bar fight of some sort. One of them is holding his knee, another one is, like, holding on to his head, looks like there's little, like, Tweety birds going around it. I mean, they're all having a bad time, and he looks up. Go ahead.
It looks like the aftermath of the last encounter I had with the guards.
It actually is I'm so glad you mentioned that. It is an exact replica of the same thing. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Thank you, by the way, Kurtha, for mentioning the clipping. It's probably because I was getting too loud. It was up in the red zone there, so I appreciate you mentioning that. But with that being said, he stands there. All right, you yellow-bellied looking sons of motherless... And then you hear this... Go ahead. Why don't you say something, please?
Amalia steps up to the bottom of the stairs. Does he look like anyone that's been described to me before?
So there is a bit of recognition. Your father, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, since it was your character as well, but your father, he described a dwarven man, a friend of his, someone that he thought was destined for very great things, and ended up being lost in the chaos that was everything that led up to the fall of Solaria. But this man looks similar but different. Perhaps a relation. You're not sure.
You said he was getting ready to... Something was getting ready to be said before I interrupted?
He was, but feel free to say something before he
says
it.
Go ahead.
All right, you bring me Thunder Voice, or I will beat every single child guard that you bring to me. You think these toddlers can get in the way of my mission, And he stops, and you hear this. It sounds like a whooshing, whirling kind of noise, and the guard that he's holding, by the scruff of his collar, the guard is like drooling, like obviously just got socked hard. He drops him to the ground unceremoniously, and the man spins around, this dwarf, and in his hand there is what looks to be a wayfinder, which is just a fancy way of saying a Pathfinder compass. But this one is etched in black and red, and there is a golden kind of crystallized looking gem that is protruding from the top, that is the light from the flames and the torches that are all around the entryway that ignite and bring light to this entryway into Palace Hill. That, as the light hits it, it dances and almost seems to create these little wisps that move around it. And as you watch, the little compass is spinning, the hand is spinning, and as it does so, it keeps spinning. This noise gets louder and louder, and then it stops and points directly towards you.
Fun. All right. As Amalia is watching the compass do its thing, she's gonna move up to the top of the stairs. Not stealthily or anything. Obviously, he's watching her. And when she gets to the top, probably right when the compass stops spinning, because that would be a thematically appropriate time for that to happen, she'll say, "Oi, Fuzz Cheeks! Thunder Voice is here. What the fuck do you want?"
You ain't no Thunder Voice. I'm looking for a man named Dorwat. The blood compass says you are a Thunder Voice, though, but that can't be right. He's supposed to be here, not you. The prophets were very clear. They were very clear in what they told me. Then again, it's been quite a few years. I could have forgotten. Oh, balls. What was your name again?
Amalia Thunder Voice. Dorwat's me da.
Dorwat's your da. So what you're telling me is you are of the same blood as your father. That would make sense. Good. Yes, yes. He looks down at the guard that is to his left. The guard brings up his hands. I'm done with you, lad. All right. Thank you, pasty white boy up at the top of the gate. I found what we need. Also, let us inside. There's something we need to do. And KJ looks down at the dwarf, looks over to you. Amalia, do you know this man?
I do not know him.
Blink, blink.
He seems to know me, though.
He takes a step forward. The compass, he brings it up very close to you, and there is this kind of tingle of electricity as it gets close to you. And just as that electricity starts to become almost uncomfortable, like you've been hit by a chain lightning spell, it is intense, he snaps it shut. Well, the blood compass don't lie, so what do you know, lassie, about, and he gets real close, really close, sky metal.
I know me dad had some, and it was stolen from him many years from now.
From now?
She gets a weird look on her face.
Hey, what? Wait, who?
Yeah, I wouldn't ask too many questions about it.
He gets closer again. You think you could talk to the would-be guard up on the ramparts up there? Get him to let us inside. There's something we need to do, and I need you to help me.
Inside the palace.
Well, not inside the palace. Around its grounds. I'll tell you more once we're inside. Just give him a good word for me, would ya?
And your name was?
My name? Oh, right. I need a name. It's Birdwin. Birdwin Guardsmith.
Any relation to Argnell?
The mention of Argnell, the dwarf stands up and pushes back, almost as though he's like grabbing onto the air as it's become solid. Where did you hear that name?
He is, I guess now, Mida's best friend.
He wiggles his fingers together like this. But if Argnell is with Dor, that means... Bars. I'm in the wrong spot. And so was Arg. Ah, to hell with it. We'll make it work. Alright, come on, tell him to let us inside. Amalia? What the hell's going on down there? KJ is leaning over the side. Several of the Ipekian guards have their crossbows up. They're looking to KJ, the garrison leader, the commander, for direction, and then KJ in response, and similarly is looking to you for some sort of explanation.
Amalia looks up at KJ and just gives him this helpless shrug. The same shite that's always happening. With like this defeated look on her face.
Time travel bullshit and, people from the past showing up to mess with us?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, so like a Tola day, or maybe a midday.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Should I let him inside?
I'll vouch for him.
Oh, so are there vouchers? Like, for cake? Haha! Wait, is there food? No time. We have a mission, Thunder Voice. And he gets real close to you again. And he, goes to put his hands on your shoulders, but stops a few centimeters away from them. Like, he's like, is this okay?
There is a look on her eyes that says it is not okay.
He slowly retracts his hands, just gives you a thumbs up. All right, well, let's go. So, as you and Broadwin walk inside, KJ maneuvers to the other side and looks down at you, Amalia. Amalia! Amalia!
Yeah.
Just stay out of trouble, would you? I'd prefer not to have... Commander...
She slaps him on the back. That that was a good one. I needed to laugh tonight.
So one of the Apekian guards comes up. Commander, is it wise to let them inside? We do not know much about at least one of them. I know you vouch for your cousin, you say? But should we let them... Just let them do what they're gonna do, alright? Just keep your eyes open for any more randomly appearing dwarves. And with that, you and Broadwin are able to make your way inside of the palace grounds. We're going to pivot you back to the city of IPAC map. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to use your token as a reference point for where you're going. Now, you and Godwin, he is mumbling to himself something about, got to find it, got to find the fragment is so important, got to take it north, I'm in the wrong spot, Artner's in the also wrong spot, the prophet's always speaking in their damn riddles, and he just continues on and on about this over and over. As you move along just the outer lower wall, so you're on the southern wall of Palace Hill, you move and you move, you pass this outcropping of buildings, this dwarf continues to mutter and mutter and mutter, and you make your way to the east side, which is mostly open, kind of open field. There's a couple of smaller gardens, and he looks around as you come to what appears to be just a mostly barren spot, and he stops, takes out that compass again, and taps it a few times. Alright, I'm gonna need a drop of your blood. It's nothing weird, just, magic and shit.
A drop of me blood.
Aye.
Fine. She pricks her finger. Pulls out one of the like blacksmith knife that she had made in the where the hell were we last?
In the north.
Words. Yeah, in the north.
And a little Norman
And yeah. And pricks her finger. Yeah.
For sure. So, as you do it, and that single, little droplet of blood begins to fall, the dwarf, this godsmith, moves up, bringing the compass right underneath, and just that single drop hits that, honeycombed-looking metal on the top. And as it hits it, the entire honeycomb, which is this yellowish, kind of reddish-looking thing, turns this deep, deep crimson red. And the dwarf begins to mutter to himself, "Oh yes, good, got to have the blood. Yes, good. The thunder voice blood. It's so important. Magical powers. Got to get the sky metal. What? Oh, hello. Oh yes." And he moves back, and as he does so, he takes the compass, and this open, very mundane-looking area that you have been standing in now for a few moments, he places the compass on the ground, and then he takes a few steps back, and then a few more steps back, and nothing happens. And then he looks to you. You might want to step back a few paces.
Should I put me armor on?
Oh, it's probably fine. But yes, you should.
Amalia presses the anvil brooch on her chest, and her armor clinks out like a transformer, just
Ching, 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 ching. That metallic kind of clanging noise, clink, 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 all as it unrolls and unfurls upon you, cladding you in that magnificent, resplendent-looking full plate that you wear. As that happens, Godsmith, this Broadwind Godsmith, he looks over and gives you a very approving nod, but it is a passing look, and goes back to the compass, which, in the time it took you to press the anvil for the armor to unfold, the anvil has begun to hover, and that whirling noise has returned. As it's doing this, those little crimson beams of light are beginning to emanate out from this swirling compass that is before you. And as that happens, the ground begins to fissure and crack, and beneath your feet it begins to tremble. But as you look back to the left and the right, this earthquake of sorts is localized to roughly a 50 by 50 foot circle. And as the ground begins to shake and rumble and crack, you watch as a stairwell made of compressed looking sand, or this like soft kind of slate looking color, begins to clink, 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 and a stairwell that leads down into the blackness under the earth forms. And Godsmith standing there. I've been waiting a long time for this. A long time for this. Oh, I'm so excited. Are you excited, Thunder Voice?
Oh boy.
Well, let's press on then, shall we? And without waiting for you to respond, he is forward into that stairwell and is just hippie hopping, singing a little merry tune to himself down into the darkness below. Does Amalia follow?
She cracks her neck, pulls her shield over onto one arm, the hammer into the other, and follows him down the stairs.
As your foot hits the first step leading down, a woman's voice from behind you. I should ask what you are doing in my palace garden, but I'm sure your answer would not be sufficient or satisfactory. Please explain yourself, however. And as you turn to look, you see a woman dressed in white robes. She has a kind of a little staff, or almost like a little wand in her right hand, and you would recognize this as a staff of some sort of power or representation of like an office that she holds. And based on the descriptions that KJ has given to you, this is the governess of Epoch, and she is standing with one arm crossed over, holding this staff, and is just staring at you. More curiosity on her face than maybe offense or anger. She seems curious.
Amalia will pull her faceplate back and give kind of like an exasperated like, what has KJ and Tanil and the rest of our extended family told you about, well, the things that happened where we are from?
They have been, dare I say, somewhat guarded in the manner of these things.
That sounds like how we all handle these things.
But with that being said, not knowing and their unwillingness to share has done nothing but pique my curiosity.
I'm sure it has.
What can you tell me of the one they call Oroth? And there is a incredulous looking, like, little just crook of her mouth, a little smile on her face.
He's a fantastic wrestler.
Oh.
He talks too much.
Oh.
Thinks too much for his own good.
As most men do, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Very true. But a truer companion and a better friend I could not ask for.
So he is someone that you would consider loyal, is that correct?
Indeed.
Very good. Thank you for your time. It was Amalia, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. Amalia Thundervoice.
Whatever you are doing in my garden, just put it back the way you found it when you are done.
You have My word as a knight of Torag. It shall
She
be.
nods her head, turns, looks back, gives you that very almost mischievous looking smile again, and then all but skips back towards the palace. Just happier in a pig in mud is what you're getting. She just
Justin's gonna be so mad at me.
God bless you. So traveling down these stairs, it takes you what feels like maybe an hour. I mean, you travel deep. And as you go down the first, say, 15 minutes, the ground around you, the walls of this stairwell, this cylinder that travels down into the earth, you see that there are bits of sand. You know, the ground that Ipak is built on is dirt, but obviously it heads out into the desert. Being closer to the Crook River, there's some more solid foundations. But as you get lower, you watch as like there is some kind of force or energy that is just barely managing to hold the sand back. You'll watch as little trickles of sand will come down. Maybe one hits you on the helmet, one strikes your shield, and then it's almost like little hands or energy are like pushing them back. And as you get deeper and deeper and deeper, the coldness that you felt up in the city, it actually starts to become warmer the deeper you get. And then it becomes cooler again. And then it just becomes kind of a mellow, like a balmy 60 degrees. Like it's comfortable, but it's very muggy down here. All right, and you hear that dripping of, how do you put this? That dripping of water seeping its way through the earth. And as you get down to the base, you took a little bit more time, but as you get down to the base of this long path, you find yourself in a dark, kind of open, cavernous chamber. I'm going to go ahead and reveal this to you here in just a moment. And what's interesting is that in this cavern, in this chamber, as you walk out into it, you see that there appears to be some kind of pathway. This pathway has, it looks like a cart of some kind on it, and I'm going to go ahead and put your token here onto the map. And what's interesting, though, is you don't see the Godsmith. You don't see Godsmith anywhere. So I'm going to place you on the map, and then you can tell me how you'd like to proceed.
I know exactly how I'd like to proceed. Hold on 1 second. Apparently I shut my character sheet down.
How dare you? Game's over.
I know.
Amalia dies. Rocks fall. Amalia dies.
Everything's ruined.
Can you imagine? That'd be terrible.
I
What
know,
a way to go.
right?
What a way to go. Hey, Drew, how'd your solo adventure go? I lost my character sheet and Charlie killed me. He's a real stick in the mud.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to play with you guys anymore. Aw, that's sad. Can you imagine?
Okay. I guess I don't have anything of his, right?
Currently, no. You didn't let him touch you or give you anything.
Do I... So I have the Mythic Guardian Supreme Tracker mythic power.
Nice.
Which would let me, if I had a creature's scent, I could use one of my mythic points to track him.
So, you know what? I like where your mind's at. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that he smelt like... You remember when you were in the Land of the Norm Kings with the Helgums, and you had that forge, you walked in, it was musty, and there was that smell of like really old, damp charcoal? That's what this guy smelled like. He smells like a forge that hasn't been used and has been neglected and for many years.
Okay. Then I will expend my use of my mythic power to create a supernatural bond that allows me to track him.
Mhm.
I can sense his general direction and distance, as well as know whether he's alive, dead, destroyed, dying, or undead. He must be on the same plane for me for this to function.
Two things. He's alive, so you
Mm-hmm.
know that for certain. He is close. He is map-wise. He's down, or quote unquote south. From
Okay.
Amalia's perspective, he's straight ahead down this, whatever this kind of trail is in front
Uh
of
huh.
her. But with that being said, give me a perception check. We're gonna make a roll here. Let's see what
Okay.
happens.
Let's.
First roll of the game. Let's go.
All right. Perception. Percepting.
Survey says 10. So that's actually enough because these folks, these creatures that I'm about to introduce you to, they are not attempting to be quiet. In fact, they are making their way down, and you hear that telltale sign of a cart on rails being pushed. And you hear these masculine voices, deep, similar to the voice that you heard from Godsmith. But do you speak Undercommon?
Nope.
And you have no idea what these guys are saying. Ugdash Madar, Utana, ha 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 ha, Ushtamadigorda. And they're just kind of going back and forth. It appears that they're having like a friendly conversation, as best you can tell. It reminds you how do I put this? The tonality is one of friendly ribbing. But with that being said, I'm going to introduce you to a couple of characters. So rounding the corner, pushing a cart, you see two gray-looking dwarves. And I'm not going to make you roll for this, but you would recognize them instantaneously as Drugar. And based on your current location, it is dark. You can just barely make them out because imagine, if you will, in this cavern that you're in, there are these mushrooms that kind of glow like blues and purples and dark kind of, hues of color. But as they round the corner, they're pushing this cart along, and at least for this moment, they don't seem to notice you. So you have a moment to react as you see fit.
Oh. I guess it probably wouldn't behoove me to light my holy weapons. That would probably not help my situation.
Well, you can ask some questions about what's in their cart. You could attempt to hide. Good luck with that. Or you could
Yeah, I
charge
know,
them
right?
randomly. Just commit murder hobo. It'd be fine.
Yeah, that would totally be in character, um, and would not affect my alignment in any way.
No, not at all. Be fine.
Although I guess they are Durgar, so well, you know what? I'm gonna detect evil first of
You're gonna
all.
detect
First and
evil.
foremost,
Oh
that is
boy.
my
Oh boy. Oh boy. So you detect evil. So as it is when you detect evil, you have this. Your eyes kind of glow a little bit of this golden looking color for a moment, and as you look out, you can start to see auras around creatures. And it's less of a voice telling you, hey, that guy's evil. It's more of a, you see dark shadowy rifts around a creature, and the more intense those rifts are, the more evil you can presume that they are. And you are picking up very, very faint, just little dark wisps of energy, like whipping around these creatures before you.
so evil light
Evil light.
ish.
Yeah, light-ish. Evil-ish.
Um, Torag's not that big of a stickler. I mean, Okay. Yeah, that doesn't give me enough reason to be an outright dick to him. Uh, I guess I will step forward a bit here, maybe,
Pushing that
and
cart right up to where you see that cart in the middle, they
mm-hmm.
finally spot you as the one that was joshing with his friend, the one to the left here. And I'll go ahead and show the audience. This is what these guys look like. You know, white beards, gray-looking skin, and he stops. Uskar to Matora! And he yells at you in a language you don't understand.
Uh, of course, I don't have any of my translation spells memorized today because that would be useful. Um, I guess I'll say in Dwarven. Do you speak any of the above ground languages?
I speak your tongue, but it is like daggers on mine.
And the way you speak it sounds like daggers to my ear.
You are outmatched and outnumbered, Dwarven female. You should go back from whence you came. The lands below are ours, not yours.
If that I could.
There's some mumbling amongst them. They look around. They look to each other. Perhaps we should take you to our queen. She can determine what to do with you. Ha 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 ha! Laughter from all of them.
You can try.
That feeling you have of where Godsmith went,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like he's getting closer.
So maybe I should stall a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah. Uh, I don't think I will go to your whore of a queen. I think I'm
And
gonna stay right here.
at the mention of Whore of a Queen, a couple of them draw blades and axes. And their weapons appear to be not of the upstanding make, such as Mother's Pride or your folding armor, but they are well equipped for what would look to be miners.
Mm-hmm.
And as they step forward, the cart inches down the track. There's a slight decline from where they're standing that travels down to where you are, maybe about a 5-foot drop across this 30-foot span of space that you see before you. And as they draw those blades, you actually see that inside of this cart are various looking minerals. You see gems, you see diamonds, you see, if you were to take them to a cleric, he could bring back a lot of people. There's a lot of diamond value in here. Mm-hmm. So whatever these guys are mining, it is very valuable. Precious. It's mula mucho. It's good, all right? And with that being said, they begin to draw blades. And from behind them, you see creeping up almost comically, you see Godsmith. And he's just 1 foot after another, stops, looks down, brings that foot back up, steps a little bit farther, and then he's just creeping up, and then you see him draw one short sword, and then draw another dagger that he holds in a down position, like a stabbing down position, mm-hmm. and the other one, and then he gives you the most devilish looking smile.
All right. Well, Amalia says, look, if you're gonna do it, just do it. And when she says do it the last time, she charges her shield and her hammer mm-hmm. with the holy energy of Torag, and they just light up like beacons of goodness.
Hey, you know what time it is?
Let's
roll some initiative. Let's roll some initiative. Oh my god, yeah, let's roll some initiative. All right, let's get crazy. All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and drop into a little bit of combat music. All right, there we go. All right, let's get these bad guys in there. All right, so
window
And Drugar.
Ooh.
Oh man, this is about to get crazy. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead. Do this. Copy 1, 2, oops. 3, 4, 5. Alright, here we go. Initiative. 3. Now, because you acted first and they were still readying themselves, I like what you did there. I'm going to go ahead and give you and your ally a quick surprise round. So use that as you see fit, my friend.
Okay. I also activated the flaming portion of my hammer because that is definitely something that I would want as well.
I like where
So
your
let's
mind's at.
see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 23. Okay, so I can definitely get to here and do a charge attack on this fellow right here.
For the glory of Clan Goldsmith! And Thunderforce! Screams your ally.
Charming. I will use my shield.
Ooh. Bold choice, Cotton. 19.
And then I guess that would be what's that, +2 for a charge?
Correct. +2 on the charge, and he's flat-footed. So you smash into his face, and you hear that sickening crunch of both metal, the armor that he's wearing. It looks like it's metal, but as it bends in, it looks more like some sort of like carapace or hide armor, maybe from like a giant beetle, and it kind of cracks and gives way as you strike into him. And as you bash in, he stumbles back, still on his feet, but the wind has been knocked out of him. Next up, in the surprise, your ally has managed to climb up about 4 or 5 feet up onto the side of this little rocky, outcropping here, and dives at the other guy with both weapons. For the Northern Cons! And he just like whoosh and stabs down on this gentleman. We'll go ahead and see how well he can do. And 29! That'll connect. So he's going to get a nice 1d6 plus 6 plus... He's got himself some sneak attack damage. So let's see what happens there. 30 damage. All right. So he buries a dagger into this Drugar's neck and then just kind of carries him to the ground, going, shh, 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 it's all right, your dark mother will put you to bed. Kill the rest! And with that being said, we are now to the top of the initiative with Amalia.
All right, I'm going to full attack this guy. All right, let's see. That would be both of those. So that. And then
Oh, that looks like a crit. That looks like a crit.
That.
Oh, dear God. All right, so your first blow nearly knocks him off his feet. And as you crash Mother's Pride, your magnificent-looking warhammer, into the side of his head, he reels back. One of his eyes is kind of drooping out, and he simply says, I will kill you. Oh, God, there's another one. And then thwack, and it's just pink mist. Just pink mist, head gone, Drugar down. The other ones yelp and seem a little less confident in their numbers. And, yeah. But with that being said, it's now...
You should have brought more, you beardless cooks.
Now it's Baldwin, and as he like stands up, wrenching the blades. It's kind of stuck for a second out of this Drugar that he murder death killed. He looks at the others and screams, "Where is it, you great devils? Where did you hide it? Where is it?" And the other Drugar kind of looking around, like, what the fuck is he talking about? And yeah, but that's his turn. He just yells at them, actually. This Drugar here is going to look at Amalia, look at the others, and then he's going to rethink his life, and he's just going to bolt. He just bolts down the pathway, taking a full withdrawal, moving his full 40 feet, just like, fuck this. One of the other ones, you are a coward! And he is actually going to pivot around to here, and he's going to attempt to make an attack roll on you. And he's probably going to miss, because your AC is insane, but you never know.
It is
31.
That misses.
That does miss. And so he brings his blade around, and he's wielding this jagged-looking short sword, and he's moving very roguelike. He pivots around and then goes to stab you where it looks like your armor has maybe a weak point, but it just hits more armor. And he stabs once, he stabs again. That was supposed to work. Party, he says, and yeah. But this other one here is also going to pivot around, and he's now in flanking, and he's going to try to flank you, and we'll see how that works out for him. Survey says 19. He goes in and he just sting, and it just clings right off the back of your full plate, just ting. Like, well, this is not working. And yeah, that Drugar is dead. Amalia, it's your turn.
Well, she calls after the one that that fled, insulting his mother's beard.
Wow, harsh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You never go after a dwarf's mother's beard.
That's like really rude.
It is very rude. I think most of her companions would blush at what she's saying. And then she's just going to pummel the shit out of this guy. Let's see.
Bottom or top one?
The bottom one.
Well, he's about to die probably. Let's see here. Oh my gosh. God bless him. God bless him. So, Mother's Pride comes up. You're one-handing it right now because you've got your shield out too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
and if this kills him, then I'm gonna shield bash the one.
It does. You bring it up and just crush his shoulder. You feel his collarbone give way, and he just crumples down with the hammer and hits the ground and begins bleeding out and is down. And the other one, as you pivot around, you bring the hammer and you slam him right on the side, and you can hear both the chitinous armor, this beetle hide armor he's wearing, crack, and then you hear more cracking, and you're certain that you broke likely several, if not all, of his ribs on his left side. And he just lets out a noise and doesn't seem like he's having a good day. So, with that being said, this one here is dead. Baldwin looks over at you. You got that one handled?
Aye.
He charges after the one that's running. And you hear a scuffle ensue just behind that rock. And you hear a Drugar cry out in pain. And it is now back to that one's turn. And that one actually takes off at a full sprint. And you hear Baldwin screaming after him. Get back here, you coward! Get back here! Where is she hiding it? And, yeah. We're now back to the Drugar that's dead. The Drugar that's alive is clutching his side, tries to lift up his dagger, and then drops it, and then he crumples down to one knee, and is just... He's obviously struggling to breathe because you've likely punctured one of his lungs. And with that, we're actually going to drop out of combat.
Yeah, I'm not gonna coup de grace.
And I'm going to go ahead and put a little new music on here for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who are you? Why have you come here?
I'm following that psycho over there.
I'm not a psycho. I'm a man on a mission of great importance. Well,
following him. Then you threatened me, and well, I ended it.
What's the old Drugar saying? Don't bite a beetle that you can't. I don't know, it's something stupid. And you're stupid. You shouldn't have fought with her. And the Drugar that's standing before you again, he's wheezing, taking in these sharp breaths as he's struggling to breathe. I don't want to die here. What do you want? I just want to live.
Amalia looks over to Godsmith. What do we want down here?
Godsmith leans in, looking at the Drugar with a very suspicious side eye. And then he goes to like grab your forearm, stops himself. There's a moment of remembrance where he's like, "Right, no touching." And then he just like points over towards this overturned cart next to this bleeding out Drugar. Just come here for a moment. Come on, I'm waiting for you. And he looks comically annoyed. And as you get close to him, he leans in. We're looking for the sky metal.
Okay. And we can't ask him for it?
Well, I mean, we could, but I didn't want him to know that's what we are going to be asking for.
She claps him on the shoulder. Good talk. Good talk.
Right. And as you go away, you see this dwarven person lean down and start rifling through the pockets of this dead Drugar next to him.
Yeah.
Your friend is not quite all up there, I believe is the saying.
He's a few whiskers short of a full beard.
Indeed. So, I give you information, and you let me live.
What do you know about sky metal?
At the mention of sky metal, the Drugar's eyes go wide, and that look of desperation is replaced by one of fear and stark hesitation. I've changed my mind. I wish to die. Make it quick.
Okay. Amalia will, with her stompiest of boots, kind of do the, like, chest stomp thing, like, foot to the chest, like, bowl him over, not, like, going out of her way to be, like, scary about it, but not actually, like, hurt him, and then drop her hammer about, like, an inch away from his nose, and say, "Are you sure?"
The Drugar does his best to take in a deep breath, but is unable to, by nature of both the boot on his chest and the punctured lung on his left side. I know where it is. Please, let me breathe.
She pulls her foot up, lays her hand on the side of his head, and lays on hands.
Ooh, go ahead and roll it.
This is literally the first time I've ever done it.
Stop it. I've been playing for
like 6
so
levels.
long.
I've had it for like 6 levels, and it's well, we have healers. What do I need?
Do.
What do I need to lay
You've
on
got,
hands for?
You've got Avery. You've got Morgan now. You've got a lot of healers. It's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
The only thing I've used it for is getting rid of the sickness.
I mean, it's a good use of it.
Class features, yeah.
So for every 2 paladin levels you have, you get d6. You should have 66 right now, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And survey says 17. Not bad. He's still very hurt, but as you channel this, golden yellowish energy into the side of this Drugar's head, it travels down, and you actually watch as his slightly caved in left side, you can hear the bones like cracking and then rearranging themselves back into place. And as soon as the spell is done, this takes only about 6 seconds, he takes in that first full deep breath. Thank you.
Boot back on his chest.
Thwoomp back down right as you say thank you. The Sky Metal is in the temple of the Drow.
Did you say the Drow?
Yes, our queen is the Drow priestess.
She lifts her foot up. Get out of my sight.
We may be considered lesser by your people, but we merely seek to survive. And he is going to scurry on all four, about 10 to 15 feet away from you. And then as he does that, he gets to his 2 feet, takes off running back towards the direction that you entered into these caverns. And as that happens, coming back, you see Godsmith. He's now wearing a necklace that has a bunch of these like preserved beetles on it, and he looks to Amalia. What do you think of me new accoutrement?
It's hideous.
You're probably right. And he takes it off and he chucks it towards the wall where it breaks and shatters. So, what did ye discover?
The Drow have the Sky Metal.
Oh, been a while since I killed a dark elf.
Never had the pleasure.
Do you find pleasure in killing other living creatures?
No.
Maybe you should. And he gets close again, almost uncomfortably close. What is your purpose here, Amalia Thundervoice?
The loss of the Sky Metal 20 years from now is one of Mida's greatest failures. If I could find it, I believe there's something we could do with it to help us restore our kingdom.
And as you say that, this wild-eyed dwarf before you with his, reddish graying hair, he takes a step back, bringing his hands up, and he begins to run his fingers almost obsessively through his beard. And what, pray tell, is so important about this kingdom of yours?
Detect evil.
You pick up no evil on him.
Okay. Sense motive. I'm not liking the creepy stranger danger vibes I'm getting off.
What? Come on, he's probably fine.
Where is it? Sense motive.
That's a
nat
nat
20.
friggin' 20.
Okay,
All right,
I'll take it.
All right. Let me get back into character here really quick. So, Amalia, as you are interacting with this dwarf, his questions become more and more probing, more and more, as you put it, stranger danger. And as you watch his expression, you notice that his eyes are constantly darting from your eyes to the symbol of Torag on your chest, then back to your eyes, back to the symbol of Torag. And this almost obsessive up and down, 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 until finally, as you are taking a few moments to drink him in, you notice that he is uncomfortable looking at that symbol, but cannot look away from it in this moment. Something is bothering him about the symbol. Now, whether or not it's nefarious, even with that 20, you cannot tell. But there's something about the holy symbol of Torag that gives him pause and makes him nervous.
Okay. All right. What was his last question?
And what, pray tell, is so important about this kingdom of yours?
It's home.
And at the mention
It's
of
where
home,
me.
go ahead, please.
It's where me. It's where me family is. It's where I grew up. It was. It was a shining beacon of light and hope in the darkness. It was home. Match is done.
And at the mention of home, you see the dwarf's expression, which has been this chaotic, comical, almost I'm not taking anything too seriously. You see the corners of his eyes, his eyebrows sink, and his eyes squint up. And he stutters before he speaks. I know what it is like to lose your home. My clan, what few of us still remain, we have no home. We've been hunted by a shadowy organization. Our purpose was to do good, do right by the will of Torak, but at every turn this group, this evil, it has sought us out and slain us. So if it is your home you wish to rescue, then perhaps that is why Torag has guided me to your side, rather than your father's. And there's a tear that falls down his cheek, and he quickly brings his knobbly hand up and wipes it away. But now is not the time for remembering what we've lost, but for focusing on what we can gain. Wouldn't you agree?
Speaking of gains, let's grab some of these diamonds. I bet we can do some good up in IPAC with them.
Yeah, he as you mentioned the diamonds, you took a moment. If you looked over at the diamonds and back to him, but he's no longer standing where he was. He's actually next to the cart and has a comically small bag that appears to just be drinking all of the diamonds in front of you. And he just kind of picks it up. The bag is no bigger than like a coin, like a small coin purse or like a dice bag. And then he just, the entire container of diamonds and gems and stuff, and just puts it on his little belt loop, and all taken care of. Ha ha!
Well, all right then. I suppose it's off to find the drow then.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard. And he takes out this small fragment of Drugar, like the edge of a piece of hair, from what looks like maybe a beard, and he holds it up. How are you for tracking?
A fair hand.
He's gonna hand you a piece of Drugar beard. Do your worst.
All right. I will expend another mythic point.
And as the power surges through you, as has happened many times in the past now, you hear this metal, hammer on anvil echo in the back of your mind. And generally, when that happens, it means you're likely on the right path. And you feel this pull down this pathway. Now, we're going to do a little bit of a montage of you and Godsmith. You're moving through dark, musty caverns. You come to large openings. He's actually helping you dodge a few of these Drugar patrols. You run past this massive patrol that is riding a elephant-sized beetle, and he helps hide you to the side just because, in his words, it's better to avoid every conflict, otherwise you'll be in the Underdark until the end of time. But eventually, moving on, I'm actually going to need some help from the group. I need someone, first person that does it, to tell me 1, 2, or 3. There's a little bit of interaction from the audience. First one to say it, first one to say it. 1, 2, or 3. 3! Bold choice. 1, 2, and 3. And you know what's really funny? 3 was the number you needed to bypass another encounter. So well played, Artemis. Thank you very much. You've saved Amalia having to bash some more skulls, and that's okay. But as you maneuver yourself deeper and deeper and deeper, you eventually come to a small, kind of curved chamber that leads. You've traveled south and up and left and right and all of this, and you've come to a chamber, which I'm going to go ahead and reveal here for you. And we do this, reveal, skadoosh. Alright, reveal. Alright. Skaboom. Alright, boom! Now you can see it. There we go. So, first thing you notice is as you got closer and closer, the pathway that you're traveling down has become narrower and narrower. And the Drugar patrols have lessened. In fact, you haven't run across anything. And when I say anything, I mean there have been no carrion, there have been no small beetles, there have been no, bugs. It appears to be void of any kind of life. The dripping of water, it is uncomfortably silent. The only thing you've heard is the occasional muttering of Godsmith. But with that being said, as you round the corner, I'm going to have you give us a perception check. And I want to see if you notice something.
Skills.
Survey says 24. That's damn good. So looking up, you see a couple of things. There is a pit in the ground, roughly 15 feet in radius and about 30 feet, 20 to 30 feet in diameter. Surrounding it are 4 purple crystal-like protrusions from the ground. And on the ground around it, you see scores of bleached white bones. Some of them appear to be humanoid in nature, perhaps Drugar, perhaps elf, perhaps dwarf, perhaps gnome. You're not sure. But standing on the other side, you see 2 dark-skinned looking elves. And they are just standing at the edge, kind of looking down. But their stance tells you that they are guarding this location. Godsmith leans into you. How much you want to bet they're guarding where we need to go?
Even odds?
give you 20 to 1.
Hi. 5.
And you see him reach into his pocket, pull out a small piece of, like, notebook parchment, scribble something with a little, like, pencil. Oh yeah, Thunder Voice, 5 gold, 20 to 1 odds. Date, what day is it? Ah, no matter. We'll figure it out later. Lamashtan something. And puts it back in his pocket. So, how do you want to play this, Thunder Voice?
You have a way of getting behind him?
He kind of taps his chin, twirls his beard. Yes, but I've only got one more. And he reaches into, he kind of lifts up his coat, reaches in, he pulls out a small vial, no bigger than maybe 3 inches high in height. And you see that there's this purple, swirling, black liquid inside. It'll make me hard to see, but I use it now. I can't use it later.
I mean, we could just go in, kick him right in the arse.
Kind of thinks for a moment. But then whatever's in that hole will know we're here.
Fuck him.
And he looks to you, draws his dagger, draws his short sword. After you, miss.
Alright.
We going into combat? We gonna make this happen?
Let's do it.
I love it. Alright. Gonna go ahead and turn off the Desecrated Sanctum. And we're gonna go ahead and drop into a little bit of combat music. And you know what? Let's do skirmish this time. Ooh. It's kind of upbeat. It's good times. Alright, so I'm gonna have you roll. Alright. And you will be getting a surprise round here because you are acting first. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna let you tell me evens or odds, or high or low. And every time you get it right, that will allow you to get 10 feet closer to these drow before they notice you, because they're having a conversation. They're looking down over the edge and they're talking to each other, so they're not really paying attention right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you tell me: do you want high or low?
Low.
Oh! All right. So you only get 10 feet. I'm going to give you 10 feet for free, so you can move yourself 10 feet closer. And then we are going to go ahead and drop into a little bit of fighty fight here. And bear with me. Let me get these drow rolled in. But you still are going to get your surprise round, both you and your dwarven compatriot. Alright. We'll get Godsmith in here. Skadongle. Alright, so you're going to be up first. You know what's crazy? Your initiative this solo adventure has been chef's
better
kiss.
than I've ever rolled in 2 campaigns.
In your entire life, ever. I tell you people, Drew usually rolls a 3. So this is blowing my friggin' mind. You know, I always joke with the players when they're doing their solo adventures that this is how I'm going to get you alone, and then that's how I get you dead. But then they just roll like fire, so it is what it is. But with that being said, we're going to start with Amalia. What would you like to do with your surprise round?
Well, let's see. Full move action is a thing that... what is it, triple movement?
For what, charging?
Yeah.
Charging is double movement.
Double?
Yeah. I know.
Oh, no, wait. That'll get me here.
Do you have 30 feet movement?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Don't I? No, I don't.
You have 20,
Never
you're
mind.
dwarf. Yeah,
You're right, I do have 20. And I haven't made those boots of springing and striding that I was gonna make, so I guess it's 10. No, wrong button. There we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, 40. Okay.
All right, perfect. So you're gonna go ahead and make the little charge action up there. Boldwin. Go ahead.
Can I hurl a weapon?
Hell yeah. You want to charge throw? Technically not raw, but screw it. Let's get weird.
Actually, never mind. Never mind. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I never made that attack, and I don't want to deal with it right now. So
all right, perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and have your boy is just going to make a full action move up to yonder, right there. He's just gonna whoop, kind of dances around, gets up to there, and he screams, "You bloody underground, non-tree loving sons of blah!" And he just can't come up with a good diss and just yells at them. And the two drow look up and they look relatively surprised at your sudden appearance. And Amalia, you're up next. That was your surprise round. Now it's your normal round.
So I'm gonna move up through here, then over here, and try and do a bull rush to just knock this dude right into the.
Oh damn. Okay. Okay, I like it. Give me a CMD. Or CMB, excuse me.
I think this is the first combat action I've ever actually tried to do.
Hey, my goal with these solo adventures is to give you a chance to flex your muscles, learn a little more about your character. Evens, bless you. So as you charge up and you go to bash this drow, he actually pivots and just steps to the side, and you stop yourself, your right foot coming just shy of this cavernous, drop down, this huge pit, and you see a couple of pebbles fall down, and as it falls down, about a second, maybe 3 seconds later, you actually hear them hit something. There's some bloop, 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 like it's striking water. There's a pool of something below. And as you look over the edge, you see there is a pool of this greenish, kind of underground, icky-looking water at the base of this hole in the ground. But the drow pivots, and do you speak drow?
No.
Well, the good news is this guy speaks common. You are not where you're supposed to be, dwarf. Did you get lost?
No. This is what I was going for.
Then you'll wish you were somewhere else.
I already do.
And Baldwin is going to move up. And as he gets to the edge here, he stops. He looks over at you. Then he looks down the hole. Sorry! And he's going to leap down into the hole and disappear down into the water. You hear a huge cannonball splash as he disappears. And with that being said, that leaves you and two drow to fuck around. But with that being said, this drow here is going to pivot, and he's actually going to make an acrobatics check. What is your CMD?
25.
25. All right, so he's going to pivot around to here, and as he does so, he's actually going to go ahead and bring he's wielding a long sword that is completely black, like it's almost made of obsidian. And he's going to bring it around, he's going to attempt to just kind of slash at you, but versus actually trying to hit you, it appears more like he's just trying to distract you. I need you to give me a sense motive check. Alright, so you think he's about to strike you, but as you turn to block, you realize too late that his friend, who is wielding a long rapier, has snuck up behind you and is going to attempt to strike you. What is your flat-footed AC?
My flat-footed AC?
Yes. Probably the same as your normal AC, but you never know.
32. It's only 32.
Oh, God. How will they ever strike you? This person could actually probably miss. 22. Swing and a miss. So she comes up and attempts to stab at one of your weak points, but you do manage to pivot and ricochet back, and she curses. As that happens, though, it is back to your turn.
So this is the one with the rapier?
The one behind you has the rapier. The more feminine-looking one, I'll go ahead and make her bigger. And then the one in front of you is wielding, this male is wielding a longsword and has a shield.
Okay, so this one's the male, and
Correct.
that one's the female. So
Correct.
the female's the one. Okay, I got you.
Hey, Google, turn office light bright
I
light.
wasn't zoomed in enough to tell the difference. Now I am. Okay, I'm going to attack the female. Because she is obviously the one that is trying to murder me the hardest.
I mean, she's doing her best. She's trying. She's doing the evil
and
Spider Queen's work.
boom. And they're both going pretty holy right now.
Oh.
I've activated both of the bright lights.
Yeah. I mean, what little you know about Drow, they are bad. That 30, though, is a solid strike into this Drow, and she recoils back. What's that? I'm sorry, what'd you say? Huh?
I can't hear you.
Oh. So as you strike...
There we go.
As you strike her... yeah, I just muted myself because the red was starting to mess with my head a little bit. It's
Gotcha.
I got Google. Hey Google, turn office light blue. It didn't work. All right, that's fine. Neither here nor there. So, hey Google, turn office light blue. There we go. All right, it worked. Okay. Yay, technology!
Yay!
Now a word from our sponsors. Do you like turning your office light different colors? Totally kidding. We're back to the game. But with that being said, she recoils back from you. And as she does this, she spits. You have come to your death, and I shall make sure it is a painful one. And the Drow fighter in front of you...
First, bitch.
Let's see. So that is a 35. Does not confirm. That is nice. 26 damage. 39's a hit for 19. Plus another 9. Plus 6. She looks almost staggered, but she is committed to messing up your day. Is what you're getting from her.
Does the shield bash hit?
The shield bash does hit. And as the shield bash connects, like you see her getting ready to come in for another rapier strike, you take your shield and you uppercut her, and you hear that ever so classic breaking of jaw, and she just lifts up into the air off her feet and collapses back onto the ground. And the drow that is behind you now, the male, screams out a name that you don't recognize, and then in drow, you're pretty sure begins to fling expletives at you, and it just goes wild. And you hear him roar, and as he roars from the basin down where Godsmith fell, you hear this, oh, shit, and it just kind of echoes up from there. But with that being said, this drow is going to go full bore into you. And he is not trying to defend, but that's first attack. Second attack's a hit.
Second hits, yeah.
Third attack is a miss. So that is going to be 1d6 plus 10 plus... I need a fort save from you, please. It's only 11 damage. And this is poison.
Oh, I'm immune.
You're immune to poison? Alright, you
so.
feel the telltale
Oh, no,
sting.
wait. I think it's...
Poison you're not. Disease
No,
as
you're
a
right,
paladin.
you're right. It's disease.
Fear. Now the 26, what's interesting about that 26 is you resist the poison, but this particular drow poison lingers. And You actually need 2 full saves to fully overcome it. So you
Okay.
can feel this stinging sensation pulsating through your veins where he cut into kind of like nicked your cheek, and most of the blade actually went to your chest and is mostly bruising, not actual like cutting, but he did manage to nick your cheek. And he just screams again and again, finally breaking into common. You will say her name! You will say her name! You murderous whore! And she is on the ground bleeding out. So we're going to put a little heart on her. And Amalia, it's your turn.
I'm gonna smite evil against this guy.
Oh, there is that thunderous clang that you always hear when you do cool shit. And you can hear that ancient, magnificent voice of Torag. Bring down the forces of evil and usher in the good. And there is like this bright light that emanates around that drow, and he's probably about to have a bad day.
Here's hoping. Okay. Smiting evil. Boom. And boom.
Oh boy. Let's hear it. So 25 is a hit, and the 43 is a hit. So let me add up some. So that's 33 plus 9 plus 2 plus 28 plus 6 plus 6. Unfortunately, the 20 is a miss with the shield bash, but the smite evil is enough. So bringing up the blade, you watch as the Drugar lifts up his shield. The first strike is a thunderous kaboom. The walls of this cavern you're in shake, and you hear pebbles falling from the side. Maybe a bone, a skull drifts over the edge and bloop, bloop, bloop into the water below, and the shield just disintegrates as this holy energy strikes down. You hear his forearm crack. He roars in defiance at you as you bring your hammer back for a second blow, the holy light shining in it, and you just strike him in the chest, and he is propelled back down this small passageway, kind of pinballs off the sides, and then lands in a heap on the ground, motionless. And with that, something else happens. There's a singing that begins to echo up. And if you listen, you'll hear it. At your feet, the woman, the female drow, coughs, regaining consciousness. You should never have come here. You know not with the powers you meddle.
You're probably right. But I didn't get to be where I am now by doing what I was supposed to.
If you have an ounce of mercy in your body, you will kill me so that I may live with my love in the afterlife. And she asks for a mercy kill. You can tell that with your blows, you could probably bring her back to life, but if you don't do anything, she's probably gonna bleed out.
I'll kneel down next to her, say, "May Torag have mercy on your soul," and slit her throat.
She gurgles, and there's actually a look of appreciation upon her face as she then dies. And with that, we leave you on the edge of this hole in the ground. No noticeable way to get down, but there are these purple crystals that are glowing softly around its exterior, or its perimeter, excuse me. What would you like to do, Amalia?
I'm gonna call down for Godsmith. What what are you doing down there?
No response, but the melodious and haunting music continues to emanate up to you.
I'm gonna inspect these crystals.
So each crystal has a symbol etched into it. Each of the symbols indicate a cardinal direction, but the symbols are currently north, north, east, and south. And that goes in a clockwise from the top position. And I'll go ahead, what I'll do is I will actually draw on there the way that they are done so you can see it. So north, oops, let me go to object layer. I'm going to draw these in white so they're easy to see. North, north, east, and south.
Is there any way to manipulate the uh the symbol for north to make it look like a west?
So, which symbol do you want to change to
It would be
west?
this one.
This one here, you want to change that to west.
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Uh, I guess, are they correctly placed, like for north, south, east, and west?
You're not sure. You could give me a knowledge geography if you want to.
Don't maybe I have a
Or
dwarven
survival
ability.
check.
Hold on a second. Let me see what I have dwarven wise. As a thing.
The dwarves do have some interesting underground abilities.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to figure out if I have or not. Just traits now. Oh, did I? I think I may have traded out all of my dwarven abilities for the trained by the shield and daughter of the shield stuff. Yeah, I did. So I don't have any underground. Okay, let's do the survival check then.
Okay.
That would probably be the best way to go, right?
Take a shot in the dark and see what happens. No pun intended. Because you're in the Underdark. How droll. Alright, I'm done. Alright, good stream, everybody. That's a wrap. That's game. 3. So,
Yeah.
what you're certain of, Amalia, I mean 100% certain of, is that up is up, and down is probably down. But you took a lot of lefts and rights and turns and went up and down. And there might even been like a Hot Wheels spiral in there at one point. It was wild how long it took you to get here. So you're not sure.
Okay.
Give me a perception check.
We can do that.
That looks like a green. Hey, you know that drow guy that you pinballed off the walls?
Yeah.
You kind of remember that when you hit him, there was like a piece of parchment or something that like was on his belt? Yeah. It just occurs to you. You're like, maybe
I will check that out.
maybe there's an instruction manual. There is. There looks to be some sort of instruction manual. Now the good news is that it appears to indicate how to activate whatever this thing is. The bad news is that it's written in drow. Now, here's where things get fun. do you have linguistics?
I don't think I took. No, I have not taken any.
Why don't you roll it untrained, and let's see what happens. That's a 12! You're pretty sure. Can't be 100% sure, but based on the orientation of this map, and it's literally like a drawn map, and it shows kind of the caverns and the holes and the pathways that go off, and it kind of looks like if you orientate it, that like you think that it's right, and that symbol kind of looks like north. It could also be like a sideways east, but you're pretty sure. You think that you have to pivot all of the cardinal directions, so north has to go to where north is currently. That one's right. It's the other 3 that are incorrect. So you're pretty sure it's north, east, south, and west. You just have to change those symbols, the other 3 symbols, in the correct orientation, you think.
Okay. So I guess that is what I will do. I'm sorry, which north did I believe was correct?
So the north that you're actually going to change, you think is actually correct.
Is the correct one.
Correct.
Okay, so this one is the north.
Correct.
Which would make this one west, south, and east.
You got it, brother.
Okay, then I will do that.
So you go around, and there's actually this little pivoting top part that as you pivot it, you can change the symbol that appears to glow out of the front. It glows in a dark black kind of energy. I know I drew it in white, but it glows in a dark black energy. And as that happens, as you orientate the last one, there is that thum, and rising up out of the ground is a stairwell made of bone. And it rises up and allows you to traverse down into whatever is below in this hole in the ground. Gotta love the drow, they're so emo. What a time to be alive.
Well, I put the lights out and start cutting myself. Cause
wow! No,
what it takes
no
to
joking
be a drow,
about that.
right?
Hey, this is the friendly family stream, alright? Let's calm down.
Okay,
Yeah. We're not into doll, alright? Let's calm down, alright? No Zandathan worship on my stream.
Alright, so I'm gonna put on a My Chemical Romance album and sweep my bangs across my eyes and talk about how much I hate my stepdad.
You never understood me, stepdad.
He doesn't understand what I'm
Doesn't
saying.
understand the trauma that I'm going through.
And then I will cursing drow, Durgar, other dwarves, Dickless, and Torag even a little bit. My parents,
everyone,
just lightly, like kind of couldn't have had a fucking normal childhood, but no. 4 years old, walking down a bone spiral staircase in the Underdark. Fucking Torag, fucking parent, like just. The justified emo-ness of Amalia's life is she is channeling as she goes down these stairs.
I think that's warranted. I think Amalia is warranted in her emotions and feelings in this moment. I feel like you know what? I'm gonna allow it. Okay. Proceed.
All right. Torag's like, yeah, valid point. I'll take this one.
I admit what you are saying has merit, and that's good. So as you travel down, you end up at the edge of this pool of water that is significantly deeper than you thought it would be, and you actually go down like to your chest, and then you're able to walk up onto this platform. And as that happens, the singing that was coming from deep down inside of here, it ends. And before you see there is a passageway that opens into some additional caverns. I'm just going to reveal to you a bit more of the map so you can kind of see what you're working with.
So it's coming from down this way?
So the singing, this haunting kind of melody that you were hearing, that you're not sure where it was coming from. It was just emanating up, and as you started down the stairwell, it ceased. It stopped.
That's
and
right.
As you make your way, you don't hear anything, but this faint, it almost sounds like a whimpering coming from both directions, coming from both this top part up over yonder, as well as from down here. Now, give me a knowledge religion check if you would. An 11. Well, the good news is, that 11, you do know what Torag looks like, and you're seeing a lot of Torag symbols and like symbolism and architecture. The big thing though is that it doesn't look like the same Torag symbols you've seen. It looks old, like before the journey to the sky old, like.
Oh,
like.
Do I need to make another poison check?
So I rolled it myself in the background because it was just easier that way and it kept the flow going. And you have really good fort saves, so there it is.
I do.
You had to roll a 1 to fail, but hey, neither here nor there. It's fine.
Cool.
You never know. But as you make your way and you actually cross into this T intersection, this venomous voice, this female voice, echoes out from the same direction as this whimpering. Do you think yourself worthy? Worthy to wield? Worthy to carry the sky metal?
No, but who else do we have?
You should not have come here, dwarf. Regardless of your name, regardless of your lineage, you will be buried here along with each and every one that has come before you.
And I think that's coming from up this way?
So it's quieter from up here. It's like it's echoing off the walls, but it's louder from down here. And as you look up here, I'm actually going to reveal a bit more of the map to help you see. There's a little bit of a cave-in up there that you could probably push past it, but down here you see there is a broken wall, and you also see that there are tombs and caskets and these stone caskets and sarcophagi that are down here. And all of the symbols on them, they're dwarven, but they're ancient. I'm talking, again, so the journey to the skies where the dwarves came up from the ground, that's why you have like sky citadels. This happened hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years ago in the history of Golarion, and this is ancient. Like, this area is older than dirt, so.
Awesome. Excuse me.
You're good.
Ugh.
More coffee.
I ran out. Stupid.
Hard yikes.
No. Okay. Down this way I go then. Still grumbling, in teenager.
And as you get down to here, you notice that these sarcophagi, these stone caskets, they have a very faded, and some of them have been scratched and marred, but you see that there's a name that has been imprinted on these sarcophagi, and if you want to take a moment to maybe rub off some of the dust and the dirt and the grime, perhaps you can reveal what that name is.
Yeah.
You brush it away, and I'm going to give you one guess as to what the family name is.
Is it Thunder Voice?
It is Thunder Voice.
Oh boy.
It's Thunder Voice, yes. Yep. So this is an ancient Thunder Voice crypt. And yeah, that's what's going on. But that voice, once again, venomous. So, come then, last of your kind, or at least soon to be last. And that voice, you know, is now coming from over here and up the hallway.
I'm not going to respond. I'm just going to move. She doesn't.
I like where your mind's at. Just
she's
maybe she doesn't deserve whoever this person.
She's not playing the. She's not playing the game.
All right, but as you move up, you can go ahead and pivot yourself up to this location right here. I'm actually going to zoom in the map so everyone can hopefully get a little bit of a better view of this. Actually, now I got to zoom out. Here we do this, and we're going to pivot over here. We're going to zoom out. How's that look? Nope. That's as good as we're going to get, because we're on the right side. Oops, that's good. But all right, so as you come up and around the corner, you can actually go ahead and pivot yourself up to right here. As you come around the corner, you see a drow woman dressed in red, demonic-looking armor. And laying in a sarcophagi, its top having been removed, you see Godsmith. You see him, he has been laying out, and from where you're positioned, you cannot tell whether or not he is breathing or is dead, but he is laying completely still. She takes a step forward. The ground of this tomb that you are in is slightly moist, and as you look at that moisture, you realize it is not water that is inside that area, but it is blood. It is thick, it is viscous, and the room smells of iron. As she steps forward, this blood kind of pools around up to her feet. So, you have come to seek what your family lost.
I'll have it back.
Take it from me, weakling.
She cracks her neck again. I was hoping you'd say that. Smite evil.
All right, and with that, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drop in to some crazy music. A little bit of mood music here. There we go. All right, let's go ahead. We're gonna drop into initiative, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll. Holy Christ! Oh my God! What is happening? You never roll this good. You literally never roll that good ever in your entire life.
Dude,
that is crazy.
I'll take it.
Oh my God. And I mean, the Drow and a Paladin rolled a 19, which is pretty alright for an NPC, but jeez, oh Pete's. And yeah, that's good. That was a good roll. Wow. All right. Well, you've been saving up for this fight, man.
Yeah.
Now, as she draws an actual, like a battle axe, and as she draws it out, you see that it is covered in unholy dark light. And as she does so, you notice that white beam of light that crashes down, which is very symbolic every time you cast your Smite Evil. She actually takes, bringing up her shield, lands the battle axe on top of it, similar to like a phalanx style, and as she does so, you feel this darkness fall around you, and you're pretty sure she just smoked good on you. So this is going to be an interesting fight here. And we're going to see how this plays out. But with that being said, you are actually up first.
Do I recognize the unholy symbols?
You do. You do. And she has a... God. She has a... Drow Pantheon. I'm having a mental block here really quick. It is... they worship... it is a demon lord. Oh, you know who it is? It's Baphomet.
Oh.
Demon Lord Baphomet.
He's one of the good ones.
Is he? I don't know. He's pretty bad. You know, he's hanging out at the World Wound, screwing things up, but that's fine. Yes, it is Demon Lord Baphomet that she appears to worship. But with that being said, you are up first.
Alright. Well, I am going to... not... do I... fuck. Ain't nothing to do but do it. I'm going to rush in. And...
Okay.
that is... going to be... I guess that was, what, 15 feet, so I only get one attack. I can do my offhand weapon too, though, right?
No, now if you charge. If you take more than a 5-foot step, you only get one attack.
Okay. Then I will take a shield bash.
Oh! Possible nat 1. Roll to confirm.
Love how I use up all of my good rolls on my fucking initiative.
15 plus what? What's the bonus on that? So plus...
Oh, let me just roll it again.
Yeah, that doesn't confirm. So you charge up, and as you do so, the blood at your feet actually causes you to slightly lose your balance, and as you go to shield bash her, she moves very elegantly without any issue, almost gliding across his blood, and just steps back. As Amalia, you manage to just keep your footing. And because this music is now too positive, we're actually going to drop into something a little bit more intense. I don't like that. You know what? Here we go. I'm just going to drop into classic combat music. There we go. She is actually going to smile at you very knowingly. And as you go to bring your shield back up, she brings her axe up, hooks it over the top, and reaches out simply to grab onto the side of your face. What is your touch AC?
Pretty good. Yeah, 16.
16. All right, let's see what happens here. So, she is swinging at you, and as she swings up and goes to connect with your face, she rolls a 34. So she reaches out and grabs onto the side of your helm and whispers, do you speak Abyssal?
No.
Well, you're pretty sure she just tried to curse you, so give me a will save. Alright, she reaches out and you feel your energy and your strength being sapped away, and then that clanging in the back of your mind, that dwarven hammer, Torag, he simply whispers just on the edge of your hearing, the edge of your mind, you hear, suffer not evil to live. And her bestow curse, her touch of cruelty does not go off. And she looks slightly disappointed. And we are back to you, Amalia.
Amalia, while she is attacking, is going to start singing one of her father's battle songs. preferably one about beating the crap out of some stupid drow.
I'm sure he had one.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing.
And as you go to swing, as you begin to sing that humming song, there is a response to it. It is like a vibration, but it's the tone of this vibration is matching what you're singing, and a pulsating golden bright light begins to emanate from the chamber just below you, and it just whoop whoop whoop. And as that happens, the drow in front of you, she is blinded by that bright light. She can't see. She's become dazed. And you are now currently under the effects of both a bless and a prayer spell. That's +1 to attack, +1 to damage. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and have her take some damage probably. So you've got 29, which is a hit because she's blind. So 31 minus 10 minus 6 and minus 29. That's some good solid blows. Minus 6, and then damn, another 20. Yeah, you rail into her as she is caught off guard, and yeah, she's not looking great in this moment. But as that happens, she manages to shake, brings up her shield to block the light, and one-handing her battle axe begins to slash into you with wild, aggressive swings. That dark energy pulsating off of her blade. First attack is a nat 1! Oh my god!
Come get it, bitch!
39 doesn't confirm. Second attack is a 41, which is a hit. Third attack is a 21, which is a miss. So she only manages to get in one strike, which is going to be plus 2d6 plus 2d6 plus 20, which you are only going to take 42 damage. Only 42 damage as she manages to get one blow into your armor. But as this pulsating light, this energy coming from the side, it gets louder and louder, and instead of just a harmonic, melodious humming, you start to hear a chorus of dwarven voices singing that battle hymn that your dad used to sing. And it's all various voices, old, young, male, female, just singing and harmonizing together, and the walls of this chamber are beginning to shake, and this drow is starting to scream, shut up, shut up, shut up, stop singing. And it's now Amalia's turn.
She sings louder. Just huge shit-eating dwarven grin on her face.
Holy moly. So let's see what happened here. That was a 36, a 34, and a 32. So, Amalia, you bring up Mother's Pride. And imagine, if you will, in this song, there is a midsection that rises to what sounds more like just a thunderous, cacophonous roar of laughter, as the song is more dwarves just being drunk and having fun than it is an actual song. And at that laughter, you strike the shield that the drow is wielding, and it cracks, her arm giving way. You bring it back, hitting her in the chest. She recoils, staggering back. The bloody water around her begins to seep up her legs, and you watch as it begins to actually eat away at her, and she starts to scream, "No, no, I need more time. I can do this. I will kill all of them." And you hear this dark, evil-sounding voice echo up from below her. "You have failed me, warrior, and now you shall suffer." And as you bring up that last blow, the song reaches its climax. all of the dwarves are singing in unison, and it is just this held, single-toned, almost Gregorian chant. The walls of the chamber are shaking. As it's happening, you watch as Godsmith sits straight up, his eyes wide, and as he does so, he pops a cork and knocks back that potion, vanishing before your eyes. But simultaneously, a dark pentagram appears below this elf, and as she goes to step out, your shield bash strikes her in the chest. She stumbles back as demonic hands and wings and tails reach up, grabbing onto her and pulling her down through a dark fissure into the ground. The chanting continues to quiet, and then you are left with silence.
Okay, I'm going to inspect this sarcophagus that Godsmith was on.
It is empty.
All right. She takes a step over towards the room that was glowing and looks in. Kind of takes a moment to like collect herself.
Inside of that room, you see a pedestal, and upon that pedestal you see a small indentation that would likely hold a small object, stone, or piece of something. But instead of a small piece of stone, there is a hastily scrawled letter written in Dwarven.
Great. I will go collect the letter.
As you open the letter and read it, it simply states, "Sorry, lass, but I've got a destiny to fulfill. See you in another life." And it is signed Baldwin Godsmith. And in front of you, you see a stairwell that appears to lead up towards the surface.
Stomp, 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 grumble, 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 all the way up. Just
You make your way up.
Stomping and invective and all of the cursing that a dwarf can
Every
do.
expletive possible, right?
Every single one.
Possible.
Oh, this is a very angry young lady right now.
That is acceptable and fair. That is to be expected. As you make your way up to the surface, the air around you once again, that cold, balmy 60, then it gets hotter, then it gets colder, and then after what feels like an hour, maybe two, you finally start to smell that fresh air of outside again. And thinking back, you don't quite remember how long this was. Maybe it was a day, maybe half a day, you're not even sure. But you exit out very close to that circle in the ground that you had originally entered through. And as you make your way up those long stairs, the hour passes, perhaps you're still angry, perhaps you're not. But as you get up about halfway, you can actually see that it looks like it might be dawn. It looks like the sun is rising, and there is a cloudless sky above you. And as you get back to the surface, you see sitting with a couple of servants and attendees with wine and food and other such delectables. You see the governess, and there is one chair next to her that is empty. She looks to you, and with a mischievous smile on her face, "I do not know what transpired down there, but I'm sure you will have an interesting story to tell me. Shall we share it over breakfast?"
Amalia looks down to her blood-stained armor, her bloody boots and touches the um, anvil symbol on her chest, and her armor folds back into itself, becoming the brooch once again. She sets down her shield and her hammer and sits down next to the governess and begins telling the tale in a way that would make her father proud.
And as the servants bring you and the governess some food, bacon and eggs and fruits, vegetables, and delicious, just aromatic smelling coffee, we pan the camera back as we watch the sun continue to rise, basking both Amalia and the governess in light. And as we pivot back, we see a dwarf walking north away from the city. We kind of pan up over to the north with a small satchel in his hand, which he slowly opens, and inside, that metal, if you remember back to Dorwat, with the honeycombed look, he looks at it, mumbles to himself, closes it up, puts it in his pouch pocket, and we fade to black. And that is the end of Amalia's adventure. All right, so yeah, man, we're actually gonna pivot over to just chatting now, which is our kind of after stream little breakdown here, and yeah, man. So what'd you think?
Wow, that was some good stuff, brother.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it was how do I put this? I was curious as to what you would do with the sky metal. There was a chance that you could actually grab it. The moment that I had him ask, should I use it now or later, that was one of those fork moments of, if he decides to use it, then he doesn't have it to trick her out later, and that can possibly change things. But do you remember way back in Kingmaker where there was that dwarf that they found on the road that had this on his persons?
There he is.
There he is. So, as Justin always likes to say, everything is connected. So, everything is connected, as they say. But with that being said, yeah, man, I just want to say to you, as well as everyone that showed up to watch today, thank you so much. This is the most folks I've ever had watch a stream. We had, I think, our top at one point was like 12 or 13 people viewing. So, thank you to everyone that came out to support. My goal for 2021 is to start doing more streams. Small little shout out. I am starting a 5e stream, Lost Minds of Palandivar. I think I said it right. I always mispronounce it. Patrick will probably correct me here shortly. But I'm starting that stream on January 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern. That is a Saturday. It's in about 2 weeks from today. I've got a great group of players. If you enjoyed watching Drew, you will actually be able to see him live as well as Patrick's going to be there. And then I have a couple of new players that have never been on the stream, and it's going to be fun. I'm very excited about the group. They're very creative. The collaboration looks really great, and for me as a game master, I'm excited to run a different system. You know, as you well know, Drew, friggin' Pathfinder is my bread and butter. But yeah, I think at this point, again, just want to say thank you so much, everyone, for stopping out. I myself had an absolute blast. And Drew, do you have any final thoughts, or if you want to just close this out, man?
Thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks for being Amalia's moral support. It's always great to put her on, and I'm glad you guys got to meet her a little bit.
For you, man, I was really happy to see you be able to flush out Amalia a little bit more. I think we got to know her a little bit more. We got to see a couple of different sides of her. And this is a little self-serving. I really appreciated what she said to the governess about Oroth, because I think that's going to be hilarious at some point. Very
Yeah.
excited about that. And as always, again, to the viewers, thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to, I think the term is like and subscribe or whatever. I think it's just like or subscribe to the channel. I am working towards getting at least 50 subscribers so that I can start doing like where you can like give donations and stuff. This is just something obviously I do for fun. But I am going to be setting up a YouTube page, which I'll be posting some videos after I take time to edit them. I believe this will probably be the first one, Drew, so congratulations. You'll be the first one that I post. And other than that, just again, thank you to everyone for stopping out and hanging out with us. Other than that, as I always say at the end of every game, you're all dead to me, and never speak to me again. No, just kidding. Cheers. Have a great rest of your nights, and hey, for Solaria. All right?
Yeah, for Solaria.
Cheers.
Good night.